going on, guys, and welcome back to ABTFM YouTube channel. Today we are here with the first episode of the Football Talks with ABTFM. Basically, the Football Talks is a show where me and some guests talk about their favorite club and football in general. So enough of talking, joining me today there are two amazing FM content creators. Let's welcome Kieran, aka DemandMore FM, as well as Josh, TBM Games. So welcome Kieran and Josh.
How's it going?
Very much.
Yep. Just tell us about your channel and what team do you support, Kieran?
Cool. So I am quite new to the FM content creator game. I started my channel in May and first video went up in June. I've got a series on YouTube doing Aberdeen. I live in Aberdeen, so it's my local team really. That's going really well, having a lot of fun with that. Also on Twitch, I've got a Telford save going on. Currently blasting through promotions after promotions, not bottling it at all. I guess you can find me, just search DemandMore FM on YouTube, Twitter and Twitch, and you'll find me. Teams I support are Man United and Aberdeen. That's my two main teams.
Cool. And then what about Josh?
I'm Josh. I run the channel TBM Games on YouTube. I also started quite recently. I think I started about a month or so into lockdown, so about April kind of time, give or take. I'm managing FH from the Icelandic League for no real reason. I just kind of fancied it. It was something a bit different that I'd not really seen before. The team that I do currently manage, I have managed in the past, is Manchester United because, well, I'm also a bit of a fan. Haven't actually bought this season's shirt though, which is a bit right, but oh well. So yeah.
Yep. All right. Two Man United fan here. And when did you guys start supporting the team?
I was 8 years old when I started supporting them. I actually won a competition to go down to Manchester as a training camp. And yeah, I got to meet like the Neville brothers, met Roy Keane and Luke Chadwick, because the football camp was sponsored by Diodora, and they were the Diodora players at the time. So I got to meet them, and it was just after the 98 World Cup, and then of course the whole thing with Beckham, and then I seen that. It's like, oh, that guy looks quite cool, kicking out the other player. So I started liking them, and then that season was the 99 season, so I was like,
wow.
Fell in love with United from that point of view, and followed them ever since. And it was going brilliantly until the man from Aberdeen retired. Well, Fergie retired. So that's another thing, because obviously my dad's a big Aberdeen fan, and he was following them through the whole time Fergie was with them. And then, of course, when he went to United, he kind of follows Fergie as well. That's how I got into Man United. Aberdeen. Was born in Aberdeen. Lived most of my life out in the country. But I remember going to games with my dad when I was younger, and I go quite a lot now that I live in Aberdeen myself. So struggle going to them games, especially recently. No, that's my two teams.
See, for me, it was, well, I'm actually from just outside Manchester, and I actually come from a family that doesn't really follow football. So I didn't start following it until I was in sort of primary school, so maybe about 7 to 10-ish. And at the time, it was just a case of I had one of two teams to support. It was either United or City, and all of my friends were United fans, so I'm not going to lie, I was a bit of a glory hunter, so I kind of chose the team that was winning at the time and stuck with them. So
you definitely made the right choice.
Yeah. Well, I did at the time. More recently, not so much.
Yep. All right. And then since you two support Man United, I'm sure you guys watch most of the game in this season. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. And
yes,
then
much to my wife's disappointment. Let's just say our life revolves around My United fixtures and when they're playing.
Yep. So how did your team perform this season?
Like, if you told me at the beginning of the season that we'd finish third, I would have taken that. 'Cause we don't have the quality of City or Liverpool at the moment. And actually, for a long time, third didn't even look possible. But with Bruno's arrival, him being able to play those passes, another goal-scoring threat, and lockdown actually really helped us, I think, with getting Rashford and Pogba back from injury. Because after lockdown, they just really kicked on. It also helps that Leicester really faltered. But yeah, I would have taken third all day, every day, before the season started.
Yeah, I'm the same. If you told me at the start of the season that you'd finish third, I'd have absolutely ripped your hand off for it. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. Like you say, about Christmas or so, they were about 6th and about 15 points behind Leicester in third. Something absolutely ridiculous like that. And at that point, I was figuring I'd even just take 5th.
Yeah, actually, that's true though. Like before the lockdown, I was thinking like maybe Manchester United is just going to finish like 5th, not even 4th, like not even Champions League, not even qualified for Champions League.
Yeah, there's times like with all the other teams, and they drop points, United always have a chance to like leapfrog, and they always draw or lose those games.
Yeah,
It's like they'd never take that chance to kick on and get above teams. It's always like, oh no, we're going to wait till like the last day of the a couple last games of the season to.
Where's the excitement in that if you actually do it nice and early?
Yeah, but it's a lot less stressful if you just get it done and dusted, isn't it?
Then what do you think of Ollie, your manager Ollie? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
I think he's done a great job. One of the key things I think he's done well is the transfers.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten rid of Lukaku, who is like, if you look at it, he's doing well in Italy, but I don't think he would have fitted in with what Ole wanted. The way he might have played better like out on the left wing, but it wasn't going to fit
Feels
in
like
with
a bit
Ole.
of a waste having him on the wing though, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He's supposed to be up top, so like having. I don't think Martial does a brilliant job up top. Like even when Rashford's up there, like that's the players you want up there. Like getting Bruno in, I know Mourinho wanted him, but like he actually got it done. Wan-Bissaka, brilliant signing.
Yeah.
And he's bringing in the youth players like Brandon Williams. I'm a big fan of him.
Oh yeah.
He's got that United blood. Remember one game this season? I can't remember what player it was, but he pushed him out into the boards at the side of the pitch, and I was like, yes, that's somebody I like. Yeah, I'm a big, and the way when Ollie started, that run he went on with scoring all the goals and winning those games in a row, that's kind of what you wanted.
What's
And
it
he's still
13
young in
out
his
of 14
managerial.
wins or something stupid like that.
Yeah, he's still young in his managerial career, so he'll have like ups and downs, but overall he's done a great job.
So who do you think is the best player in this season?
I think we both agree on who the best player is. The guy that changed the season for us is
Everything.
Bruno.
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah,
To be fair, I would also make a case for Maguire. I know he had a bit of a ropey last couple of games, but how much of an impact he had in the general defence, it was just ridiculous. They went from conceding, was it something stupid like 40 plus goals last season to I think it was about 25 this year in the league.
oh, yeah, he's definitely improved. Gives you a bit of a steal at the back. I do think he's got some limitations to his game. I think you need to pair him up with a really quick centre back
Yeah.
to be able to cover him. Lindelof, I like Lindelof as a player. I like Bailly. I'm a big Bailly fan because he's such a madman. I don't think either of them are suitable really to pair with him.
Josh is not convinced.
Which is
Convinced by Bailly. He's like a giant enigma for me. Is Bailly. It's like 1 week he looks like an absolute world beater and nobody can get past him, but then the next week he looks like he's a Sunday league player that doesn't know what football is. It's really strange. I've never seen anything like it.
I like that. I can't remember if it was his first season where he had a shot. We had a chance to take a shot. I think it was against City. He missed it, and then he just did this. and fell backwards and like properly fell onto the floor. And it's like, and like he wrestled Vardy to the ground. He's just so mad. And like some of his tackles, like I would, if he gets them wrong, I'd berate him, but he gets them right sometimes.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be at United for too much longer.
No,
But I like him. I'm a big fan of him.
he's almost like a slightly better Phil Jones for me.
Eric Bailly.
Yes, well, yeah,
Yeah,
yes, I would agree with that.
I think
Like,
Eric Bailly is very strong in FM, in the game itself. He's a very
oh yeah,
good defender. But then in real life, that's another story.
it's like he lives for players to run past him so he can chase them and then just hack them down at the very last second and just see what happens.
Yeah, there's not an attribute for like madness in FM, is there?
Yes.
Like how eccentric. Well, there is for goalkeepers eccentricity, but it's not one for players.
Just roll that out across the board.
But then Harry Maguire, do you think he worth that much of money?
Oh.
He's
That's the
like
question,
the
isn't
most
it?
expensive defender right now.
Yes.
Like he is, but I don't think he should have been that much.
No.
That much money. I think it's just the sign of the times, and it's like United always get that United tax added on to whatever transfer they do.
I think that the reason that he had to go for so much was because I think he'd just signed a 5-year deal with Leicester, like before they signed him.
Was that?
So obviously they had to buy out that contract. Plus they were going to charge him probably 50 odd million anyway because he's English, and United desperately needed a centre back. And
Yeah, that's the thing. You got the English tax. United's coming in tax. It's just skyrockets.
Compounded, wasn't it?
Let's just move to the worst player in the season. Easy question or tough question?
Very easy. Well,
It's
it's easy enough in the sense of it's Lingard or Pereira for me. The pair of them were just absolutely atrocious in the first half of the season.
I think
I don't know if-
there's two ways you can look at it. It's like overall players that are poor or didn't perform well, like Lingard and Pereira, but they're generally not in the team, or you look at them as like, I don't really expect too much out of them. Or you look at somebody like De Gea, who is week in, week out starting, and now week in, week out starting to make mistakes. Just like,
Some mistakes as well.
yeah, and it's like that game, the FA Cup game against Chelsea was just like, I couldn't believe what I was watching from that one.
But it's
And
not
it's
just that, was it? It was the Tottenham game, first one back from restart. That Bergwijn managed to run a literal ring around Maguire,
Yeah.
and then
and
just
then
had
it was
a
right
driven
at-
shot
right
straight
at
at De
Muller.
Gea, and he just palmed it in.
But
Yeah,
the Tottenham
it's-
game, I don't think you can blame everything on David De Gea, I would say.
Oh,
no,
like, the fact
I
that
wouldn't
he's
do.
managed to get there.
But
Like, if you look at De Gea, like 2 or 3 seasons ago, he was stopping everything. And that's the bar he set for himself. But when he doesn't meet that bar, it's disappointing. And it's like, it's worse.
yeah, I think part of the problem you have is he's not exactly on a small run of bad form now. It's about, 18 months, 2 years, maybe?
Yeah.
And
It's like, it's
we
gone
are-
downhill.
We
It's just
are at a
like,
point now where it's thinking, is he actually going to break out of this, or is this just De Gea now?
Yeah. The goal that
Yeah,
I
the thing is, you
remember,
look
the
at-
mistake that I remember is against Everton. The pass to Dominic Calvert-Lewin,
Oh,
and then just put it into the back of net. That's just
Yeah.
wow.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like he's making those mistakes that really shouldn't be doing at that level. And then you look at the keepers that we have. Romero is arguably one of the best backup keepers ever in any team. Like Romero will get into like maybe 80% of the Premier League teams, I think.
Yeah.
Like no doubt.
Romero is the first choice keeper in Argentina right now. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's United's backup. So we've got like the best backup keeper. We've got Dean Henderson, who has been amazing this season out at Sheffield, and he's one of the top 3 players in clean sheets this season.
I think he did have the
And he's
most
at
clean
Shef-
sheets, didn't he?
Was that most? I thought.
No, I think
Oh, no, it might have been
De Gea has
Ederson,
more
actually.
clean sheet, actually. David De Gea has more clean
Oh,
sheet.
like Dean Henderson. I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
the next. He's the next thing up coming up. And it's now at the point where maybe we have to give him a chance over De Gea because he won't stay around much longer.
Yeah, that's actually my next
And-
question. Do you think Dean Henderson will be Man United number 1 in next season?
Yes.
No.
I think next season, no, I think he's already going back to Sheffield on loan. But the season after it, yes, he should be number 1. And I know people will say, he's not ready for United. But when De Gea came, he wasn't ready for United.
Yes,
The amount of mistakes he
that's
made
true.
that first season with all the corners being just put in right on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
If it was up to me, I'd do just like say what they did with De Gea when he first started, when they had Anders Lindegaard.
Yeah. Lindegaard,
Where essentially they didn't have a set number 1 keeper. They just play one of them, and then when they made a mistake, they just swapped the other one in, and then they became the number 1 keeper, and it kind of gave them that push to try and keep improving. So I'd personally bring Henderson in and do a very similar thing and just see if it can either A, bring De Gea out of his slump, or B, give Henderson a good chance and see if he is actually able to step up and be United's keeper long term.
All right, let's move to the next question. Any improvement next season, and also the prediction for next season?
I think I'll be third again. I don't think he will drop off. He will come back with a vengeance. Liverpool will still be Liverpool, I think. So I think we'll be third again. I think overall our play, will be much closer. Our play will be better. Like obviously with Fernandes from the start, will be a big improvement. If Sancho goes ahead, which hear about, and then here it's not there. If Sancho comes in, and that's the right wing position sorted.
Yeah.
And then you still have Greenwood, who's coming in and he could play anywhere up the top. So that front four would be amazing. I still think we need a decent centre back, partner Maguire, and Matic replacement. Somebody with maybe a bit more legs.
Sure, that's what McTominay is, though.
And I like McTominay. I think he's a brilliant player, but
I know what you mean. He's not quite as defensive minded, which is what you kind of need if you've got Pogba and Bruno pushing forward in front of you.
I think he'd come in and do a better job being like a box-to-box midfielder rather than somebody holding who can let the other guys just go forward. I don't know about Ndidi. Leicester's Ndidi might.
Oh, Ndidi is good.
Out.
Ndidi is a good player.
What's he called? Is it Gay or something? He used to play for Everton, moved to PSG.
Yeah.
I think they've put him on the transfer list recently.
Idrissa Gana Gueye.
Yeah.
Somebody like him would be great.
Yeah, just basically somebody in that Kante mold just to sit there and sweep up. Really, that's all they kind of need. And Matic is great. The lockdown has done him a massive favour, and I think I'll keep him around, but he'll be like a second option. And McTominay, I like Fred as well. It's just he started off quite poorly, but he's really come on like throughout the season when Pogba was out injured. Fred's just kind of kicked on.
Definitely stepped up.
McTominay, obviously the Scottish guy, like him, big fan of him, and his he has been like at the beginning of the season he was one of the best players in the team. But then a team like United needs all those players. They need that depth in their team. So if you just get a couple extra guys in, and then we'll really be able to kick on, I think.
See, for me, I agree. I think we need somebody like Sancho to get that extra little bit of quality up front, because at the minute the right wing was mostly Danny James, who is decent,
James.
But
I just forget about that Dan James.
Yeah, he's just not the best. Maybe probably needs to go out on loan, but then obviously you had Greenwood coming through, but you can't rely on an 18, 19-year-old to bail you out every single week. So to have somebody like that, I also agree that another centre-back is needed. Who, though, and for how much? It's tricky to say.
Yeah, it's tough to find that one. Koulibaly, his name's always mentioned.
Yeah, I watched him the other night. I'll be honest, I haven't seen him that much to really make a judgment, but
yeah, other than Champions League games, I've not really watched much of him.
And he was not good the other day.
Now moving on to the second segment, and then we'll just start with the best moment in this season.
One of the best moments, I think, is actually McTominay's goal against City.
Yes, that's literally what I was going to say.
That was brilliant.
93rd minute, just from almost the halfway line.
And Ederson just passed. Did he throw the ball out or did he kick the ball out? I can't remember exactly what he did. And then McTominay's just in, and it's in pouring rain, and boom, curls it right in from miles out.
Absolutely fantastic.
I actually remember I was watching the game here, and I was like, started jumping up and down, and my wife was like, "Did United score?" I was like, "Yes, McTominay scored!" Everything going on. Loved that game.
I think they were already 1-0 up.
Yeah, 1-0 up.
Yeah,
It was close at the
Yeah,
end.
that was just like the proper
I kind of sealed it.
cherry on the top.
Ederson actually made quite a lot of mistake like this.
Yeah, because Martial almost scored that one, didn't he? Where
Yeah.
Because that's why did Martial not like run into the post as well and almost got injured?
Can't actually remember, but
Yeah, because he closed.
I
him
know
back.
it is a problem with the whole like sweeper keeper sort of mentality, isn't it? They come out and they're almost like a third centre back, aren't they?
Yeah, because
And-
this season I think Southampton, Cher Adam, they actually scored the only goal
He got him.
against
he got him.
Man City, and then last season Liverpool, Salah scored a goal like this as well.
He did. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. It's not the first time, but
Yeah, not the first time.
that goal.
But to be fair, I think Alisson's been caught out doing something very similar where he's trying to do a little sort of Cruyff turn or whatever in the box, and the striker's just come and nicked it off him and tapped it into an open net. I think it was more last season, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this whole keeper trying to play hard. I'd much rather they just hit it as hard as they can, let strikers run, but get it away
Just do
from
the
your
next
goal.
pass.
Yeah.
That's just like
do the next pass.
modern days football. Yeah, everyone needs a keeper that can pass the ball, can hit a long pass, hit a counter attack and stuff. Yeah,
No. It's the same with defenders. There's so much more of an emphasis now on players that can pass the ball, and
yeah,
I'd much rather just have an actual centre back who doesn't get beat, but maybe isn't the best passer. If they can just pass it to somebody in sort of like the holding midfield role and let them spray out the passes forward, I'm much happier with that personally.
All right. So besides McTominay goal, what's in your shortlist?
I guess beating
Josh?
Leicester and finishing third for me.
Yeah, that was another one on my list.
It's maybe a bit of a boring answer because I think a draw would have been enough to get them into the Champions League,
Yeah, it
but
was. Yeah,
still actually
Definitely.
doing it and beating them 2-0 on the last day of the season to guarantee it, it was quite nice. I enjoyed it.
yeah. I loved the first game of the season against Chelsea. That just
Like the
Oh,
4-0.
yeah,
Battered
that just put me in
Chelsea.
such a good mood.
Yes.
Actually,
But-
and you know what? We had Chelsea's number for like nearly the entire season, apart from that last game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was a bit
Yeah, that 4-0 win.
cautiously optimistic, I think I'll say, about that 4-0 win because I don't know if you remember, but Moyes' first game in charge was a 4-0 win.
That was
And-
Swansea, wasn't it? That's Swansea.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. So I was a bit like, is this history repeating itself? Or
Yeah.
So Kieran, your answer will be the McTominay goal,
McTominay goal, yeah, that's definitely against City as well. Definitely that one.
yeah,
and then Josh
I
will
don't
be.
think
Is it the Leicester
exactly
win?
the same. No, it's still the McTominay
Oh,
goal.
McTominay goal. Okay.
It was
Right.
fantastic
And it was the celebration as well. You could just see it on his face.
at Old Trafford as well. It's you just
Yeah,
couldn't
it's in Old Trafford.
you couldn't
yeah.
write it any better than it was.
Mm-hmm.
But
Agree with that.
All right, then worst moment.
for me, it'd have to be losing in the semi-final a couple of weeks ago because
Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Oh.
like you said, they've been mugging Chelsea off all season, and then to just get absolutely battered by them that late after they've been playing so well in the league, it just felt no. And I reckon they could have done a number over Arsenal in the final as well. But
Yeah, I think so. See, I think the problem is I don't want to just like give them an excuse, but the amount of games United have played since the lockdown probably hampered them as well. I don't think Chelsea's played it. Maybe they've had slightly more rest. But like
Yeah, I think
United
they'd
look
had like
tired.
another 2 or 3 days over what United
Yeah.
had.
I
But
think because United looked tired, like looked more tired near the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a shocking. It was a shocking performance, I think.
yeah, it wasn't the best.
One of mine is Southampton game recently.
Oh yeah,
Conceded
drawing on like the
right at the
96th
last.
minute or something.
Yeah, from the corner, and that was just shocking because I think it was a vital part of trying to get that third position, and the win just gave us, I think, a bit of breathing room.
Yeah.
A couple of extra points, and then to lose those 2 points, just so frustrating. And I was watching it downstairs, and I was mad. I was furious that happened.
And then it got
It
made
was the
worse, I
smallest-
imagine.
It was the
Oh, go
smallest player on the pitch that got the ball as well.
Is it the young striker from
Yeah,
Southampton?
Obafemi, I think.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
can't remember who it was.
Amy or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks tiny, and because it was Lindelof. I think he beat Lindelof to the ball. I was just mad. Also,
But it got made
January-
worse, didn't it? With the screenshots that came out afterwards of, I think it was Maguire ended up marking Wan-Bissaka
Oh yeah.
in the
yeah,
build-up
yeah,
to
yes,
it.
Yes, the clip. Yeah.
And it's a case of if he'd not been doing that and he'd just taken a step back, he'd have been able to clear it.
Yes. Yep.
I think another tough part of the season was January for me. I think you mentioned earlier Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that Christmas time there was a terrible run of form for United, but they just like lost a couple of games in a row. I think Arsenal was one of them, and the Liverpool game as well.
Oh yep.
That was just a really rough patch for United.
Yeah, that's when they dropped to 6th, wasn't it? And they were
Yes,
miles
yes.
behind and looked out of sight, and the season was over.
So Kieran will be which will be your worst moment? Is it a Southampton loss or?
Yeah,
January?
Southampton lost just because Southampton lost. I think
Yeah.
would be just because it was right at the end of the season, and that's that same story again where United had the chance to leapfrog teams and get themselves clear, and they always seem
But
to
no.
ruin it. Yeah,
Yeah, and
So that's
Josh is
definitely-
the one that lost to Chelsea, FA Cup
Yes,
semi-final.
I was tempted to say the Southampton game, but I think the reason I didn't was because they did manage to get the 3rd in the end, so it didn't matter. But
But he didn't make
Yeah.
it to the FA Cup final. Yeah.
yeah, it was still disappointing.
Yep. So moving on to the last question will be one iconic moment you had as a Man United fan.
well,
I mean-
like there's the obvious one.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first. Mine's
The obvious one is the treble win, but I'll be honest, I'm not inclined to say that because I think I was 8 at the time, maybe even 7, depending on when it actually was played. So I don't really remember it. So
I remember it perfectly. I was 9 because my birthday's in May, so I just turned 9, and I was watching it in the living room with my dad. And when Mazur scored that free kick, it was like like mad. And then the game goes on and on and on, and then they hit the post and they hit the crossbar, and then they got chances after chances, and then the first goal from the corner goes in. It was Sheringham's one. I actually got up my little legs and I ran round the entire house. I ran up the hallway into my room, ran back down, like cheering and screaming and everything. And then I literally just get back down to sit down in front of the TV. The next score
And then
happens.
Solskjaer scores.
Solskjaer has done it, and then I do the exact same thing, running around again. I loved that. And that was just like the pinnacle of football for me. I'll say not pinnacle. Like my 9-year-old brain, I think I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so amazing. It's like right at the end of the game, not knowing that like previously United have a history of doing like comebacks like that.
Exactly that.
Yeah, that's clearly your iconic moment as a Man
Yeah,
United
that's
fan.
it's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because I think like obviously I at that time I knew about football. My friends were into football, but I wasn't 100% invested into it like I am now. And that season is when I really got into football, like after the World Cup, because Scotland was in the World Cup at that time, last time there was ever in a World Cup. So I was really invested in the World Cup, and then United in the season, and then I watched the FA Cup final, and then that game was just like first season properly fully invested into it, and then just get that reward at the end of the season. It was just unbelievable. I do have other iconic moments as well, but that's definitely the best
That's
one.
the one.
Yeah, that's the one. So Josh?
I think for me, like I said, I was a bit young for that. So the one that I remember the most vividly that jumped out at me is Rooney's bicycle kick against Man City.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what a great goal.
That was something else in the occasion and everything. The fact that it was City and there's no other real answer for me.
What about the Van Persie goal against, is it Villa? Aston Villa, is it?
That's definitely up there, that hat-trick.
Yeah.
But no, it's got to be the bicycle kick.
Yeah, there's obviously there's so many moments. Well, it's like Martial's first goal was brilliant as well against Liverpool.
Yes.
It was just
Oh yeah, that's his first goal. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, that was just brilliant coming in, and I think it was Skirtle.
I think it was.
The other way, and he just puts it in. That was lovely.
Yeah,
Also,
I still remember
Makeda as well.
that game. Martin Tyler is the commentator. Then he was like passionate. Yeah.
Welcome to Manchester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
And the fact, I know it was Liverpool as well, so it's like, what a way to endear yourself to everyone is by scoring against Liverpool on your debut.
Yeah, true. That's true. That's very true.
So if you're talking about the Liverpool games, though, you have Juan Mata a few years ago getting his double with his little scissor kick as well. Yeah, that was quite a nice one. I enjoyed that.
That was a Di Maria assist was really, really nice. It pains me to say his name, but
is that game 3-1? If I'm not
mistaken. It was 3-1 because
I think so. Yeah.
Herrera scored, didn't he? Herrera scored. I think he scored.
I don't remember.
I
just remember that Mata got 2.
Yeah, he scored twice.
Yeah, Mata got 2. Yeah, I remember that.
Was it one of my other moments? Actually, is more recent. Is the EFL Cup final against Southampton, and how amazing Zlatan was.
Oh,
like, I was a big fan of Zlatan before, and I never ever thought I'd see him in a United top. And like he scored that free kick. I know we were 2-0 up, and then they came back. But then I remember I was watching in my room upstairs, and my little brother was watching downstairs, I think on his iPad. And I think my stream was slightly ever delayed. And
spoiler.
Yeah, so yeah, you know where this is going. So I was watching it. I couldn't sit down. Like I had my chair in front of the computer where I was watching it, but I couldn't sit down. So I was behind it. I was standing. I was like, oh come on! And then all I hear is this patter of feet running up the stairs. Comes into my room, and he goes, yeah! And I'm like, whoa. And then I turn around and look, and then there's Herrera crosses the ball in, and Zlatan's just there, nods it in, and then I'm like, yeah! And then we both jump around in my room. That was a lot of fun. And then the fact he shows an experience after that goal, just going into the midfield and just showing up midfield. I think that was because we won the FA Cup with Van Gaal. That was with Mourinho. I think it was his first trophy, and then you kind of think, oh right, so we've won the FA Cup, we've won the EFL Cup. This is United getting back into it. It was kind of that bit of hope that you kind of need.
Yeah, that didn't quite pan out, but
well, like you knew it was going to happen. You could tell.
Yeah.
Like, the third season, Mourinho just implodes. Like everywhere he's gone.
Every single time.
Yeah. It's just like a tradition.
So it was just him to be able to come in and win a couple of trophies, maybe get the guy some experience of actually winning. And Zlatan coming was definitely the highlight of his time.
Yeah, it was a strange one with Van Gaal, and he always struggled to get signings, at least the big ones. And then Mourinho signed him within a week. They had Pogba and Zlatan. It was like, where's this come from?
Yeah. I mean, Van Gaal, it was just like watching Van Gaal. This was put you to sleep, didn't it?
Like watching
It's pretty
paint
good to
dry,
see.
wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the best part of the entire Van Gaal era was, I think he was the one that introduced Rashford.
Oh, really?
It was, yeah, he introduced
Is it
Rashford.
the Europa League?
Because
against
Martial got
Midtjylland?
injured. Yeah, Martial got injured in the warm up, and then Rashford came in and scored 2 goals, and he scored 2 goals against Arsenal. Then I think it was the Arsenal game where Van Gaal did his dive
Oh, yeah,
right next to the referee.
Amazing.
I mean,
Absolutely
oh my
amazing.
God, that-
like, say what you like about Van Gaal and the style of play, but man was comedy genius doing that right in front of the referee.
God. He just like literally like lie down.
Yeah, he literally just fell. It's like this is what the guy did. Oh yeah, that was brilliant. Love that.
Yeah, alright. So Kieran answer will be the treble winning Man
99.
United. And Josh will be Rooney bicycle kick. Small question for you guys. From the scale to 1, from 1 to 10, how likely will Sancho join United?
I think
I'm
it's
at an
right up
8,
there.
I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's right up there.
Right up there.
I mean,
Wow.
it's not just been a quick thing. It's been like rumored for so long that we've been after him. You look at him and you look at the signings that United used to make, and he's a nailed on type of signing that they would go for. A young Englishman on the cusp of being brilliant, like that great player. That's exactly what United used to do. It's like with Rooney, they got him. They got Ronaldo, the young player who's like, I know they played him in a friendly, but he played brilliantly that game. So he's like, oh, we'll get him when he's young. Nani, the same thing.
Ronaldo.
It was like, yeah, Ronaldo. There's loads of. If you look back at history, they always did signings like that. So I think he's a nailed on. Perfect signing.
I've also
United.
seen some news articles allegedly claiming that he's already in some United WhatsApp groups, but obviously that's all still speculation. But that is generally a good sign if that is the case.
All right. So I think that's all from me today. Yep. So shall we do I'll just do an ending here.
Cool.
All right. Yep.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. It's been good fun.
Yep. Thank you, Kieran, DemandMore FM, as well as Josh, TBM Games, and also make sure you guys check out their YouTube channel and also follow their Twitter. And then all the links will be down in the description box below. So if you enjoy watching the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also leave a like, leave a comment, and share it to your friends. And also don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's ABT_FM to join the discussion of football. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for joining me today. Yep.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, yeah.
Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.